Holy cow, we're back again for another week with more Benny Hill music, because what better theme song for this team? And Kenny's in the bathroom. Holy shit.
I'm back, baby.
Hoggin the mic. I'm your host, Medium Daddy Cool, Eddie Jenkins, with your other host, the nude quarterback, Kenneth J. Paltrow III. How you doing, buddy?
I'm in my home. I'm back.
Do you still have the matching the Redskins shower curtain? There you show us that. There it is. Nice. At least you're that should be your background. You should do it the other way around.
I should just sit on the toilet and do
Yeah.
hogging the mic for my
Why
throne.
wouldn't you? I'm gonna next episode. You better do that. And our special guest host, X-TremeSkins Tailgate extraordinaire, the one, the only Pez. How you doing there with the number one Hoggy?
Oh, it's another lovely week after a just great game.
Another lovely game.
What a game. Oh man, it was something. I was actually there for the first time this year with Kenny, sitting next to him for all the 8 points.
and
points.
2 for like most of the game.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I think the Eagles just let us have those points just so we wouldn't, or just for our fans, just so we wouldn't feel so bad, you know.
The city of brotherly love. They sure love to murder us in front of my eyeballs.
Yeah, a return game against Philly for Carson, and he really showed out at 25 of 43, 211 yards with a 4.9 average. Took 9 sacks for 58 yards lost, and a 71 rating and 11.4 QBR. Those are some champ numbers right there.
I hate him.
You hate him already?
I'm back in the bathroom. It's week 3.5.
Oh man, it is week 3.5, and things
I don't
are
wanna look
looking
at
pretty
this.
dire.
I don't want to see
Look
that.
at this. Look at Jalen Hurts' stat line. Look at that.
NSFW.
22 of 35, 340 yards, 9.7 average, almost double Carson. 3 touchdowns. He took 3 sacks for a loss of 12.
Okay, 2 of those sacks were because like happenstance. I think Jamin Davis was next to him when he like kneeled, and there was like another play just like it.
You got great acoustics in the bathroom, Kenny.
Me.
Yeah, and
just
in terms of those passing yards, I know that Hurts doubled them up, but they actually pass downfield, unlike us. So we love that dink and dunk here in DC. Well, Scott
Did you know that a Washington Redskins team and Commanders quarterback has not thrown the ball over 6 yards since 1992? Look it up.
What?
I feel like 90% of our passes are 3 yards over the middle to a running back every single play.
You know what I would really love to see is I would love to see, because Scott Turner loves these plays where we throw to the sidelines or behind the line of scrimmage. I would love for someone to go back, look at all those stats, and see how many of those plays were successful. Meaning like at least gaining like 3 yards or so.
Maybe 1. But probably 0.
Yeah. And once again, the best player on the team shows he's the best player on the team. Terry always shows out, always does something, always puts up some numbers. Easily my favorite player still.
No, the best player on the field still. And Tressway.
He's the pro
so good. His punts were so good. It's all I can watch during the game. They go so high. They're nice spirals. Better than anything Carson Wentz has ever thrown in his life.
Yeah, look at old Tressway here. 420 yards, smoking himself out.
We should just show Tressway stats every week and then just talk about Tressway and then sign off.
Yeah, it's not a good thing when your punter is your MVP 3 years in a row.
Probably 20. Our long snapper was the 10 years before that.
Ethan Albright?
Ethan Albright. Who was the dude after him? I can't think of right now.
Other long snapper that had a very long career and made way too much money for doing one thing.
And now Cheese Man.
Oh God. Great stats for Trustway. He's always good. Good personality. One that you kind of like to have around, but the rest of the team just didn't look good. They don't look good in any shape, form, or fashion on either side of the ball. I don't have a lot of good things to say. I think the majority of those sacks were on Carson. I mean, the line is not good. Let's not make any jokes, ifs, ands, or buts about it. But he made them look really bad.
Yeah, there was one play. There was one play on my side of the stadium where I literally saw Carson Wentz drop back, and then he saw the pressure coming, and he ran directly into the defender's arms, like, hug me.
Yeah, it's like I would say he was sabotaging the team for for the Eagles, but yeah, they've done enough of that themselves, and he's pretty bad. He's just pretty bad.
I thought out of the 9 sacks, which is like a whole game of sacks, half were the line, maybe 4 to 5, and the other 4 to 5 were Carson Wentz. Like 4 to 5, I feel like Carson was like any other quarterback we've had. 3 steps back, 7 guys like giving him the Carson hug. Then there were the other 4 or 5 plays where it was what Pez just said. He drops back. We have time. And he's like, I'm not confident in my abilities. Looks at number 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, dead.
He's like Mark Bulger after he was abused for like way too many years with the Rams.
Mark Bulger. Welcome to 1996's Hoggin the mic.
No, you know what I mean though. Like he was supposed to be the next big thing, and like he looked good, right? And then he had the shit knocked out of him for 2 straight years because they didn't have a line, and he's just shaky. He's not confident. He backed himself into pressures. He felt nothing, and that's like Carson Wentz. I don't know where his confidence is at, especially playing against the Eagles.
Well,
maybe brought back some old feelings.
If you want to take that from our own team, that would be Jason Campbell. I mean,
That
guy had PTSD after he left the Redskins.
Mark Brunell used to do tap dancing live in person because of our offensive line. He would get back there and his feet would be like, tick, 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 and then he would just like die.
Yeah, it's I think at one point some of these quarterbacks just get broken, and I don't know if you can fix them. It's like you can even say that about RG3. He didn't know whether he should run, and he never learned how to slide. But after he took those hits there in like 2013, he lost his confidence. He was nothing.
Yep.
He was nothing ever again. I don't know. It's sad. So it comes to the question. It's another week. Who are you kicking off the island? Who are you done with on this team? And that includes coaching. And I think it's been pretty bad. And we'll talk about some stats. I know you want to talk about some stats from Ron here in a minute.
Can I pick the same person?
You can pick the same person. I mean, 3
Ron
votes.
Rivera again.
That's 2?
2.
He's almost gone.
Kick him off.
Pretty bad. Well, tell us those stats. You might as well go ahead. Why we should vote him off? That tweet you shared earlier.
Ooh, do I have that available? I don't even know if I have that. I'm in the bathroom right now. I got nothing with me.
That you didn't bring your phone?
No, I'm too depressed. I don't want to talk to people.
Don't you have talking points written on the toilet paper?
Hold on.
Oh, geez.
And he's about to make fun of me again because of the way it's facing. But YOLO, it says fire Ron Rivera.
Well, I'm going to see if I can find this since you're useless. Talk amongst yourselves here. Okay, so in 36 games under Ron Rivera, the team has trailed 20-0 in 19% of the games.
Hold on. Pause. Time out. Pause. That means we started a game off 20-0 1 out of every 5 games that we play.
Thank you, Mr. Wizard.
That's insane. That's why I'm in the bathroom.
And the team is trailed by 20 and 27% of games.
That's 1/4 more.
And the team is trailed at any point in 91% of the games. This is the second worst in the NFL.
Okay, so trailing is not as bad because like I feel like I'm gonna get on the bathroom.
That's still pretty bad. I mean,
No, you're right.
if it's the second worst,
I'm not
it's pretty
defending.
bad.
I'm not
Who was
defending.
the first worst? Who was the first worst?
I don't know. This is
Yes,
coming
that's
from Grant
great.
Paulson.
It's Browns, Jets, Texans, the Bills before 2017.
Jags.
Like, okay, so trailing in a game, whatever. The Chiefs probably do it 5 to 6 times. The Bills probably did it last year 5 to 6 times. 91% is like every game we've ever played, we're losing at some point. That's not okay. 91%, that's incredible.
It's not good.
That's bathroom living-esque.
All right, Pez, so we're taking votes on who we're kicking off the island. This is Survivor style. Who would you vote off the island? Who are you done with after this?
I have 2 eliminations.
Yes. Yes.
You haven't been here
true.
all season, so I think you can have what was this week 4? You can have 4 if you want to. 3, 4,
Well,
whatever.
I'm going to have to go with our 2 coordinators, Del Rio and Turner. Rivera, he's obviously going to get all the blame and everything like that because it ultimately falls on his shoulders. But honestly, the biggest problem is coming from the coordinators. I mean, you have defense that doesn't appear to wake up until the second half, and you have this offense that you could be like a high schooler. Well, you could have the crappiest arm in the league, and that's perfectly fine because you're only throwing 3 to 4 yards per pass. So, we finally
same old Norvis offense.
Yeah, I mean, look, this isn't like past years. In past years, we've had like one good receiver and the rest of them were kind of meh. I truly think that the 3 receivers that we have are good quality wide receivers between Terry, Curtis, and Jahan. Those 3 guys right there, I think, have every capability of being some of the top wide receivers in the league. And we're just completely misusing them. I mean,
or not using them at all in the first half of the games.
Look. Here's the deal: the Redskins, the past couple games, they're wanting to stick to this like short pass game and try to do. I understand they're trying to grind out the defense, take up time, blah 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 blah. But look, this is a team. This is a league where you need to pass downfield, early and often. And we have 3 guys that have proven that they can do it. The rest, Turner only turns to that when it's a red alert emergency after we're behind, 2 or 3 scores. And it's like, oh, well, crap.
Stretch the field.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. We can throw it beyond 3 yards.
I have another Scott Turner issue. We finally get some momentum going in the first half. We'll have our first 50, 60-yard drive. And then he calls double reverse wide receiver drop the middle for -7. And it's like, what? And then it's second 17, and then we do run up the middle for 2, and then it's 3rd and 15, and then we punt. And I was like, why in God's earth we were 7-yard pass, 8-yard pass, 6-yard run, 7-yard pass, double reverse, wide receiver, -8 yards. Thank you, Scott Turner.
He loves that play. He loves that play.
It's his favorite play.
And it almost never works out.
That play.
And it almost never works out.
It has never worked.
It's worked for every team but this one.
It's like Kirk Cousins being like, I know, I'll do an out pattern. No, Kirk Cousins, it never has worked. It always ends up in our own end zone.
Oh God, I can't argue that one. I can't
either. Wait, so we got that's 2. We have what? 2 more people voted off for Pez.
Yeah, he can have at least 1 more.
1 more.
Oh, I said 2. I said Scott Turner and Jack Del Rio because Del Rio apparently he's not allowed to make adjustments except for just in the locker room at the half.
I think he's like I think if anybody's in danger of getting let go, like if they keep Ron, if the season continues in this direction, I don't want to hit the panic button, but here we are. They don't look good in any shape, form, or fashion, any facet of the game. If they keep going this way, if they let somebody go and they keep Ron, I think it's going to be Del Rio. Like I could even see them keeping Turner, but I can definitely see them letting go of old Dust Up Rio.
I think he's first down.
Yeah, I agree because I mean, look, there was just been too much invested draft wise into that defense, and look, we what was it that first year under Chase, that defense was looking pretty raw, and it's been just stepping down every year since then. And this year it's looking even worse. I mean, the defense was supposed to be the strength of this team, the past 2 years, and the past 2 years it's been awful.
I watched 6 top defensive linemen become non-existent human beings over the course of 2 years. Like that 2020 year, like all I remember from that year for the most part was Alex Smith couldn't play football, and then our defense would win us games. And now it's the complete opposite. Well, not the opposite, because Carson Wentz can't play football either. But at least Taylor Heineke for half the season would put up like 25, 30 points and we lose by 10. Because our defense, I am so tired of watching defensive backs take a vacation in our backfield by themselves. Invite one of our defenders. They're like lovely people. Go out on vacation with one of them.
At what point do you go to Taylor Heineke? He basically had his rookie season last year. I'll say that, right? Maybe he's grown. He's never gonna have a big arm. Maybe he'll learn from his mistakes. The preseason didn't say he did.
The arm isn't the issue. If you take a look at his mechanics, one of the big issues is he does not plant that back foot when he throws the ball, and that's why it likes to fly wildly inaccurate. Not as much of an issue when it's a short pass, but on those long passes, I'm sure you notice are like way off target. And I was looking specifically in the preseason, and it looks like he still hasn't fixed that yet. So,
but do you think he gives you a better chance to win? Like, at what point, if you feel like he gives you a better chance to win, at what point are you done with Carson?
So,
how many games of this?
Here's the problem: is you had here two bad prongs here. So you have Carson Wentz, who has a greater capability of delivering an accurate ball and can deliver a ball downfield as well. But he's run here and there, but he's obviously not as mobile as we'd like, especially in a situation where you're passing when you're going against a fierce pass rush like we did this past weekend. We're going to be seeing it again this weekend too. In terms of Heineke, he doesn't have that accuracy. He doesn't have that long ball, but at least when that pass rush comes, he has that crazy ability to like escape out of
football.
Sure. So which one do you want? Do you want the guy that can escape the pass rush, or do you want the guy that can actually deliver the ball? So
I think if he keeps looking like this for a little bit too long, I think you got to go to Heineke at one point. I hope we get more of what he looked like in the previous weeks, where he looked fairly solid, even if there were a few mistakes. But this week was bad. I thought this week was really, really bad. So that's why I'm voting for Carson Wentz this week.
That's like always my backup.
It's always your backup.
Always my backup. No, okay, so here's the thing. I said this during the last 2 games. I watch a lot of hockey. And this seems to be something that works in hockey, and I've seen it happen. It's less than in football, but it works. The last 2 games, and I was proven wrong 2 weeks ago against Detroit, because Carson Wentz did come out after halftime and look like a real human being, quarterback with arms and legs and a brain, instead of this mound of jello with a football stuck in it. At halftime, when you have 0 points because your quarterback doesn't know how to play football and you haven't gotten more than either 1 first down, you have 0 first downs, It's not a permanent benching.
Yeah.
Put the backup in and see if that motivates anybody. We didn't do it 2 weeks ago, and it somehow worked, where Carson Wentz just came back and played football. Last week, I thought the same thing. It was at halftime. We have 0 points again. Put Heineke in for the half. It does not mean we've benched Carson Wentz for good. That does not mean that.
To me, I feel like, though, for some quarterbacks are emotionally fragile. And if you do that, it's going to hurt their spirit more than it is going to motivate them. And you've seen that happen too before with quarterbacks. I'm saying, toughen up. It should make you become more of a competitor if you're getting benched because your play is bad.
Yes, if you have a mopey quarterback getting sad on that, goodbye. I don't want you. And the thing is, you tell Carson Wentz, hey man, scheme's not working right now. We're going to go with Heineke. He comes at half. If it doesn't work with him, then you just got to suck it up and go with Wentz all game. I'm saying game 6 to answer your question, though. If we look like this for another 2 more weeks, Heineke's a starter. That's it. Wentz, you did the Washington quarterback thing. You made money, you sucked, and you sat on the bench. Congrats,
and
buddy.
you played a season.
And you're now known as a Washington Commander.
So I was thinking about this same exact situation this past week, and you bring up a good point about, the psyche of the quarterbacks and everything like that, but you know what? Wentz is a big boy. He's being paid millions of dollars. He's been passed around the league. At this point, nothing's going to hurt his feelings. Okay. So let's get that out of the way. Let's get that out of the way. So the other part is a coach's stubbornness to stick with the player, hoping that they will get better as the game goes on. But ultimately, here's the question. What is the primary thing that you're trying to accomplish during the game?
Win.
Yeah. The only thing that matters is winning a game. It doesn't matter who you win it with. I don't care about feelings. I don't care about this, that. Winning a game is the only thing that matters. And I was actually thinking, I was like, should he have both? Because Wentz was just in this rut, and it wasn't getting fixed. It was just getting worse and worse and worse. The only reason we scored that last touchdown was basically Eagles were already like in prevent, and they're just like, whatever. So, especially given that pass rush, that's a time where Heineke actually, I think, would have been a better option than Wentz. Normally, I would take Wentz over Heineke any day. But with that crazy pass rush that the Eagles were throwing at us, I was like, this would not be bad timing for Heineke to do one of those crazy things where he has 3 guys on top of him and he pops out and runs for 30 yards.
Yeah, or just dumps it off to McKissick and he just takes it. He was always good for a couple of those a game, I feel like.
Right, or and hear me out, don't hang on to the ball for 17 seconds and maybe you won't get sacked. Because on the other ones where you
don't step into or back into or side into the pass rush repeatedly.
Did you see one of the quotes from our offensive lineman? I forget who it was this week. I forgot to send it to you guys, but one of the guys, and it was kind of like off the record. I don't know if it was like a true actually interview. Said that he was like,
could be fake news.
It could be fake news. Could be me just making this up right now because I hate Carson Wentz so much. But it was something along the lines of like, we're doing all we can, but you can't. It makes us look bad when your quarterback is walking into blitzes or walking into sacks. And it was like, say it, get rid of Carson Wentz because he's terrible and that's what he does. And I'm going to do this for the next 14 weeks.
Look, here's the deal. I knew before the beginning of the season that Wentz was going to be a freaking roller coaster ride of a quarterback. I mean, pretty much every place he's been at, he has these great games and he has these crappy games. And that's just what you get with Carson Wentz. I mean, we should all know that by now. There's going to be some games, I'm sure, as we go down the stretch, there's going to be some games where he shows out and is like, we're like, holy crap, maybe he is a superstar. And we're going to get games like we had this past weekend too. So
who could imagine Nick Foles would just damage somebody so bad?
So here's my little issue. We're only 3 weeks in. I'm not ready to say fuck Carson Wentz 110% yet.
He's got one strike for me.
He's got
that's how bad that game was for me.
Yeah.
That was a big strike, and it was a bad game.
Well, but what I've seen in 3 games is Jacksonville played only 2.5 good quarters and almost cost us the game in one of them. Detroit played one of the worst halves I've ever seen in my entire life. Eagles played one of the worst full games I've ever seen in my entire life. That's almost like 2.5 bad games out of 3. I'd like to give him 6 full games before I'm like, get rid of this guy forever. So we're halfway there, but not looking great.
It's like you're like 2/3 of the way there. You just need one more hideous jersey. You're on your way.
They won't sell me. Sell me the black jerseys.
I don't want the black jersey. I don't want to look like the Steelers.
Wear pants. Wear burgundy
like a Ronald McDonald Steeler. It looks awful.
When they
I think they have the worst jerseys in the league anyway, but these are the worst of the worst.
When they came out with those jerseys and then announced that we were going to wear them for the Cowboys game, the first thing I thought of was that movie Little Giants, where they're like, your jerseys, and they're like, death shrouds, but they have your name on it so they can identify the body.
I've never seen that movie.
Jesus, what were you doing in like 93? You don't like Rick Moranis?
I love Nick Moranis.
How even are you?
But I've only seen him in like 2 movies.
How even are you?
I was watching.
You seen Ghostbusters?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Doug.
You've not seen Ghostbusters?
Oh no, I've seen the original too.
Okay, thank God. Okay, we're fine.
Yes.
Crisis averted. Jesus.
Crisis averted.
Amen.
Goonies. Explorers.
Seen Goonies. What was the next one?
Explorers.
The hell's Explorers?
You've never seen Explorers.
I never even heard of Explorers.
Good Lord. Good Lord.
You like
You're disappointing in so many ways. And speaking of disappointing, give me your grades for the offense, defense, and special teams. Kenny.
Okay. So with Max not here, I get to go first and take up everyone's time.
He's underwater. He's underwater somewhere.
Oh, by the way, relief funds can be sent to Florida, County, Florida, P.O. Box Max Bacon. He is floating on a roof right now in Florida, down the streams.
Hashtag Ronnie 2024 or something. Send me money. I don't know, something like that.
The reason actually Pez is here is because Max is somewhere on a roof. We don't know when we'll get him back. We're going to have a special guest replace Max for the rest of the season until he and the floodwaters retreat back to the ocean.
I hope Roe and the kids made it. If Max is gone, so be it.
Is he
we'll
living?
Find replacements for him. We'll put actual bacon.
Yeah, he's in Florida.
So Max is in a van floating down the river.
He's on
possibly. Yeah, he might live in a van now on top of it.
Nobody.
Yeah. Chris Farley said that live. Okay, I got grades. So Carson Wentz. I'm just going to give him a grade too. Carson Wentz gets an F-. I'm not even going into this. Carson Wentz is a big redheaded dummy.
Goes without saying.
What's that?
I said that goes without saying.
Right. The offense as a whole gets an F-. There's nothing positive about that game. They didn't turn the ball over more than I think once, maybe twice. So it wasn't like a complete disaster, but they didn't do anything. They got 20 yards at a time and punted the ball. F-. Special teams.
The Tiddlywinks.
Yeah, but was there anything bad that happened? Like,
no.
They made a field goal that didn't count. A? Sure. A. And Tressway looked great.
Tressway just for Tressway.
All right, now there's a new segment I called Kenny's Surprising Grade of the Day. Defense. I'm giving a B+. I actually thought for this game, this doesn't excuse them from the other two. I thought this game they played very well. I thought if it wasn't for the defense, that was a 56-0 game that they kept relatively in reach for most until the offense completely gave up. They got a safety. Jamin Davis, I thought, had a good game out of all people. I thought they kept them in check. Yes, the Eagles and Hurts looked good. Hurts threw for, or Devontae Smith had the most yards out of any receiver in the NFL last week. But it does not help when our offense is getting 20 yards total at a time for the entire game. I thought our defense played above average. I'm giving them a B+.
Okay, on to somebody sane. Pez, can you rate the offense, the defense, special teams, and Carson Wentz?
Well, I'm gonna lump in an extra one in there too. So special teams, let's just get that out of the way. They did their job. I'll give them an A-. So they didn't do anything special, but they didn't do anything to lose the game. So
that's what you need.
Yep, that's exactly. Defense, I'll give a D too, because the reason that I'm not giving them an F is because I felt like the offense put them in really bad positions. I mean, a lot of 3-and-outs going on, and that defense was just plumb tired. So
he's reasonable. He's reasonable.
I would say that the biggest problem out of the defense was probably the defensive backfield. And part of that
does not look good.
Part of that could also be scheme too. I mean, you basically have a lot of man-on-man guys going into zone, and you know, we have a lot of people playing incorrectly in this defense.
Did you know that Jack Del Rio is the only coordinator in the NFL that runs the cover 0? So we don't cover anybody. He just says, "Go run." Okay, sorry. Bathroom humor. Back to Pez.
I would also. I'll probably also don't forget that the linebackers and the linebackers were awful in that, especially in that Detroit Lions game. They're just getting shredded back there.
Yep.
We basically have a defensive line and nothing else behind it. So,
yes.
In terms of offense, I'm going to give that a D. Most of that is going to be an F on Carson Wentz for his performance. But I'm not going to fault the wide receivers because the ball just wasn't getting to them. So, I mean, except for their 3-yard gains.
Terry had a long, 45-yarder.
Yeah. And once again,
one of those again.
The scheme was killing us there. On to my last one here, and that is coaching. So I'm specifically pointing out the coordinators, Turner and Del Rio. They don't even get a grade; they get an incomplete.
I do that too. I give them 0s.
So yeah, they didn't even get a grade. They did not finish their homework, and it showed.
Not applicable.
I don't even need to go into it. I think we're all on about the same page here. I think Carson Wentz is the lowest grade that you could give a quarterback. He was awful. He was the lowest of Fs. He was in the single digits of points. He had 8 points. I'll put it that way. That's what I would score him out of 100.
Don't give him those 2 points. Don't give him those 2 points.
Okay, 6. That's what I'll give him out of 100. The defense I thought looked pretty bad. I'm going to give them like a D-. Not nearly an F. I thought they were pretty bad. Nothing to write home about. I don't think the defensive line is that good. Are they going to get better when Chase comes back? Is Chase going to come back next week? Maybe. I don't know. Be great. They need him. They need something. They need some sort of spark.
We need a
special teams. Yep, they need a pass rush bad. Can he provide it? Has he moved past one move? Because he looked pretty pedestrian even before he was hurt last year. Didn't look very good at all. Well, and then
don't forget his first year. I mean, he was perfectly healthy and he was a stud. I mean, he was causing massive issues. His second year, they're saying that this so not the main injury, but the other injury, what was it, with his groin or whatever, that could have been affecting him all last year. So maybe that's why we weren't seeing a full.
I'm almost like I'm completely hesitant to even give defense to say they were ever good. I feel like that second half of Ron's first season there during the pandemic year, I feel like it was kind of a false positive because of all the really bad teams they played. I thought the defense only played good against bad teams, which, good on them. I'm glad they woke up against bad teams, but was he ever really that good? I still don't see it yet. He still hasn't proven it. To me,
started with the undefeated Steelers is when we went on that run. So I think they picked it up at the end of the year. Like they started gelling and clicking, and were healthy that year.
And I noticed that's a trend for defense every single year. The defense always seems to just start off really slow. They don't start showing up until like halfway through the season. I'm like, is Del Rio not getting these guys ready, or what's going on?
Coaching prep, I went into last week. I still think it's an issue with Rivera. I think it's a huge issue in defense. It just seems like our coaches don't know there's a football season right now.
I'd like to see the stats throughout these past 3 years and see how those stats look over the course of the season. Because I honestly, I'm serious. The second half of every season seems to be a better time for the defense than the first half.
We need some charts and graphs for this. Special teams, I'm going to give, and I'm bad at math and Excel sheets. Special teams, they're an A. Tressway gets an A+ because he's Tressway. Coaching, D-, pretty abysmal across the board. Ron, almost done with you. I'm really close to done with you. And yeah, that's about it. But what I do need right now, because I'm in the dumps and this is a sadcast, I need to be brought back up. I need a little poem.
You got to give me a second because
it's poem time with Marcus B. Hazelnut.
Okay, as I was saying, my poem's in a happier place, which I'm going to move the sadcast to, because it's young. It's a young season. I don't plan on spending the whole season here yet.
All right, give us a tour of the place.
Okay.
What kind of Listerine is that?
Room. You're not getting a tour of my place.
That's where he does all his thinking.
Oh, there's a happy cap something.
Time to go mobile.
Hold on, I gotta plug some stuff in. Just give me like 45 minutes.
40?
Everyone sing a song or something.
I'm really glad we're doing this now.
All right, I'm back. We're back, baby.
All right, you ready?
A lot better.
Oh yeah, I'm
ready.
I'm good.
All right, here we go.
God, this music is insane. All right. Do you smell what the Ron is cooking? It's definitely something that needs not looking. The Ron says, know your role and shut your mouth as you watch this team head south. The Ron will check us directly into the FedEx Hotel, which is just another name for a place called hell, where a bunch of jabronis are coached by the Ron, where playoff aspirations are all but gone. The Ron will land the smackdown on your candy ass. Do you want to go one-on-one with the great Ron? Nah, I'll pass.
I don't know if they're getting better or worse, but
I just have one point. Was that directly?
Hey, you gotta watch professional wrestling in 1998 to understand anything I just said. So shout out to the one nerd that might understand that outside of me and Eddie.
I think most people know who The Rock is. If they know who any wrestler is, that should at least sound familiar to them. Pez, I'm sorry you were subjected to that, but here is some cross promotion I'm going to subject you to now.
Oh,
then we'll get
into what a great segue.
Yeah,
my poem is for you.
Yeah, it's like a I don't know, a women's wrestling match in AEW. That's when all the ratings drop.
We are losing Pez by the second. He's gonna walk off.
Oh god,
in like 5 minutes.
All right, here we go.
Want some wrestling excitement? Well, snap into an episode of the Blue Bar Cage, yeah. Retro pay-per-view breakdowns, body slamming action, and all sorts of other shenanigans. So get on your Google machine and head on over to BlueBarCage.com. Yeah, find us in iTunes or on your favorite podcasting app. Dig it!
I want to.
Max Bacon's 6 sizzling keys to victory.
Number one.
Yes.
Get out of the hurricane's path. Number 2, find some high ground. Number 3,
Inflate
don't
your
live
raft.
in Florida during hurricane season.
Or don't live in Florida.
Don't
Just
live in
don't.
Florida.
Why? They've got
Number
crocodiles.
4, fill up your bathtubs with water.
Years.
Number 5, don't be on electronics during a hurricane. And number 6, Max Bacon, we're sending you donations. The P.O. Box, Max Bacon, Florida City, Florida.
What hashtags should they use?
Oh, I am
You
glad
better
you
update the
asked.
hashtags.
I am glad
Uh-oh,
you
we got
asked.
a comment. We got a
Really?
comment. Uh-oh. Look at this. I'm here. He's
Is that
alive.
Is that actually true?
Is this live? Is this live, Max? Are you alive? Where are you at right now? Are you on a boat? Can you send us your 6 sizzling keys?
That's not actually him. He's
Howard
Howard is
connecting.
back.
He's connecting via Coconut Wireless. He's
This is
landed on
breaking
some
news,
island.
everybody. Max Bacon is
Max.
alive. We have found him.
Max, are you going to join us? You've got the link. It's in the chat.
Max, swim to the shore. Swim.
Please. High ground.
Maybe.
Live and in the flesh. Where's the flesh?
All right. No one wants to see this. Max, go back in the water. Get back in the hurricane water. You're ruining the podcast.
He's already
Murder
throwing you back
placed you.
in.
Now, my wife is from Charleston, and they're used to some hurricanes. And I got to say that what was hilarious is she told me that her and a bunch of her friends, when they were in high school, got busted during Hurricane Hugo. I'm sure you guys have heard that one. That one is a big one that hit that area. And they got busted by the Weather Channel because they were out there surfing during the freaking hurricane. And they got busted by the Weather Channel that ran up to them and started getting them on camera.
That's amazing.
Man. Yeah, that hit Myrtle Beach pretty hard. I'm still waiting for Max. I don't know if he's lying. I feel like this isn't Max. This is like
Yes.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
No.
And he's
So
like,
the
he's wearing
hurricane
like a Max mask.
The
he's in a
hurricane's in a
canoe?
computer typing as Max, and we're gonna live stream, and then the hurricane's gonna like come into all our places around.
Is this a
the
simulation?
globe.
It might be a simulation.
Max,
Jesus.
blink twice if the hurricane has you hostage.
Does Max blink anyway? Oh, here it is. Ah, the fisherman is joining us. Holy
Hey,
crap.
Max, he's
Turn your
alive,
phone
he's
sideways, you
alive.
psychopath.
I
Come
made
on.
it.
Oh, look at that face.
I made it.
I see that
Oh,
your
you made it.
I see your man cave got washed away in the hurricane.
It did.
Yeah.
I know.
And it floated upstream to Pez.
I'm I'm now a extra seasoned hurricane veteran.
Oh goodness. Oh goodness.
Max, the whole podcast, we had your funeral basically.
Yeah.
Oh man. I
We
can't wait
were
to go
like,
back and watch it.
His
Yeah.
poem was just about you and how much he loves you.
It was just like how I was drowning in a sea of my hurricane for you.
Oh, Jesus. So
How
you
sweet.
will be happy to know. You arrived in perfect timing because we just played the intro.
He doesn't
For
have
Max
6
Bacon.
keys to victory. He just
sizzling keys to
emerged out of
victory.
water. He just swam to shore like minutes ago.
Hey,
He might have them. He's a smart man. He watches the ESPN.
He didn't have light until 5 minutes ago.
You look way too dry.
Yeah, Max, get the fuck back out
That's
there.
not the first time Pez has said that.
Man, I was plenty wet yesterday, and our road is still like underwater. It's insane.
So are you just buying time, or do you have 6 sizzling keys maybe?
Oh, off the cuff, I can give you 6 sizzling keys. Everybody knows how to beat the Cowboys.
All right.
Tell
Tell me.
what we needed. Confidence. It's been very sad until you showed up.
Give me the sizzling slices of bacon.
All right. So I would say number 1 would have to be not get sacked like 9 or 10 times.
That seems to be a reoccurring theme.
Yeah, maybe number 2, I would say to actually try to score in the first half. That would be another.
These are all backhanded compliments at the team.
Jesus.
Number 3s have a competent coach.
Yeah, really. I feel like Kenny reads my mind sometimes.
Was that?
No. That would not be number 3, but I like it though. I would say number 3 is actually stick with the run game if it works, because I felt like against the Eagles that we ran the ball pretty well, and we would just do it one time and then get away from it. So got to stick with the run.
The ball 43 times a game.
Why do you pass if you're getting sacked and losing like 8 to 10 yards of play when you can gain 5? But anyway, let's flip it to the Dallas side of the ball. They got a career backup quarterback, so I think we should definitely put some pressure on him. I think that would definitely cause some turnovers, which we got to win the turnover battle to win this game.
0 blitz every time. Let's go.
Exactly. You got to bottle up the running backs. They got pretty good running backs with Zeke and Pollard.
I'm more scared of Pollard.
Yeah. Like he's sneaky good for some reason. And number 6, I would say we got to stop their number 1 receiver, which would be CeeDee Lamb. He looked pretty good against the Giants on Monday Night Football. So.
Are you saying we need to lead a lamb to slaughter?
Lead a lamb to slaughter, baby.
I think
number 7 is don't wear those awful uniforms.
Oh God!
Too late, All Blacks command the uniform.
Kenny's already bought like 6 of them.
They won't sell them. Sell them to me.
They're so ugly. But Max, thank you. You came out of nowhere. Perfect timing. It's like you heard your call. Your theme song was out there, and here you jump on. You're alive. You got your snorkel off. You got your wetsuit off, and you're here alive. I'm just happy to see you.
Max,
Thank
you. You missed the first half of the podcast where I was back in the bathroom. You came back. I'm already like back in my happy place, but I was there.
The acoustics aren't nearly as good.
I'll go back and review the footage.
Thank you.
Roll that beautiful bean footage. Anyway, it is Dallas week.
Let's go.
It's a rivalry, at least for our fans, the ones that are left. How are you feeling about it, Pez? How are you feeling about this week?
I remember the days when this was a big deal. Everyone
made me cry.
Everyone in the town was excited about this game, and this one, and the home game too, and it just really hasn't been as exciting the past number of years, just because there really isn't. I mean, it's not. If you're not competitive, it's not a rivalry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
that's how I feel about Tennessee and Alabama lately.
I mean, we obviously hate their guts, but there has to be some competition to have a rivalry.
Or JMU and App State.
Oh
God.
There's something that Tennessee and Alabama and JMU and App State have in common, because Tennessee's going to beat Alabama this year. I'm calling it. But yeah, I wish it was a rivalry. In my heart, it's a rivalry. There's so many good memories and things associated with it. But this year it feels a little weird, feels a little different, and not just because of the wretched jerseys. I think it's a shame to be wearing those for this game. I think the iconic color difference of burgundy and gold against their official colors, blue and white, and silver, those going against each other, this looks stupid.
I will say that because of tradition,
any other game.
Because of tradition, this is a very dumb week to do this. Like,
it's awful.
I don't care about the black uniforms. I kind of like them. A minority opinion. But why Cowboys week? Like you just said, that's the week that's supposed to be tradition.
Because Dan wants to show off his new things to Jerry. He's always trying to show his nice, shiny things to Jerry.
So
I wish those shiny things would be Super Bowl trophies.
So we kind of have a habit of kind of screwing up things like this. I mean, this is what we're good at, is screwing up timing or what have you. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember that there was that Pittsburgh Steelers game a number of years ago where the Redskins gave out fan towels and they were gold, and I'm just sitting here going, "What?"
Yep, like the
And there's
Sean
that
Taylor
Steelers
week
game where
last
they
week,
wore,
or last
and there's
year.
the Steelers game where they wore burgundy on burgundy.
Oh,
They got their ass kicked and they look like trash. It's just stupid. I don't get it. They don't think things all the way through. Do this at a different time. Do it during, I don't know, military week or something. I don't care.
I just don't
do it
understand.
during this game.
I just don't understand because, I mean, black is not one of our primary colors. Our primary colors are black, gold, secondary is white, and tertiary is black.
That's why they had to put black on the white jersey, was so they could have the alternate, the all black.
I thought this was like a.
That's why they had
like a color rush week uniform or something. Like
it's just every team can have an alternate jersey, and this is the teams now instead of the like 30s throwbacks that they had been wearing since 2012. But that's why you get the weird looking. Not only did the black jerseys atrocious, but they ruined the white jerseys even more because they had to include the black on them, which makes them look like weird Arizona Cardinals jerseys.
The thing that's crazy is, go ahead.
I was just going to say, if we win, though, let's wear them every time we play Dallas.
Oh.
New tradition. The thing that's crazy.
I'm with Pez.
Alternates are supposed to be a 1, maybe 2-time thing. We're already wearing these things twice at home. Why are these now our primary jerseys? We're about to wear them 3 times this year. Probably 7 when we wear them on the road every week.
What's going to be hilarious when they get slaughtered in them and all the shine is taken away. It's like when they renamed the team and it was like shiny and untarnished for a whole day until everything came out about Dan. So that's exactly what's going to happen here. It always happens.
Ooh, maybe there's more allegations coming. That's why we're doing the jerseys.
So speaking of like the jerseys,
like Tickle the cheerleader last week. He's like, "Oh, black jerseys."
So speaking of like the jerseys and the alternates and all that kind of stuff, one of the things that was really cool was every number of anniversary seasons we would kind of like break out one of the old school things. Like we had we had those brown leather helmets, we had the spear, we had we've done all sorts of different things. One of the things that really sucked about the name going away was we never got to see my favorite helmet come back, and that was the feather mohawk helmet.
Oh, that was a great one.
I always wanted that to be brought back, and we never got to see it.
I personally like the yellow R's, and we could have done that if we had named ourselves the Red Wolves, but instead we decided to name ourselves the Commanders with a C because that made sense.
Nothing makes sense with this team, and I guess that's this is where we're at. We're talking about uniforms in week 4 and how we're furious about that when really we're furious about everything.
Fair enough.
And our number one Hoggy is now on the show.
Oh, speaking of which.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
Here it is.
Yep. That's the.
Oh, there it is. He's got props.
That's nice.
And that's one thing that it's still the number one thing that bums me out about the whole thing is they went from having, in my opinion, some of the best jerseys in the league, best uniforms in the league, to the absolute drizzling shits of jerseys. And now they can't even go back and do throwback jerseys. And they had some awesome kick-ass throwback jerseys too.
Oh yeah,
yes they did.
Did you notice even in the Sean Taylor mural that they painted inside the stadium, because they had different artists come in and paint murals and stuff? They didn't even put the Redskins on his jersey, where it's usually here.
They also sell,
and the shield. The shield was incorrect.
They also sell Sean Taylor Washington Commander jerseys, like he played for the Washington Commanders. I always say this: I go with the name change. I'm moving forward, but when you refer to the 1991 football team that won a Super Bowl, that was the Redskins. You can't say it was the Commanders because that's false.
So you were talking about the shield there being incorrect. Are you talking about the one with the incorrect years?
It should have been the Reebok shield, because remember how the NFL shield was within it, then it had the equipment like gray kind of thing around it. It's the Nike type shield now, where it's just the NFL shield again, like it used to be in the 90s. So yeah, they didn't even get that right.
Eddie's the only person
they're bad at the details. I love NFL jerseys, especially the classic ones. Yeah, at least you can buy stuff on Mitchell and Ness. At least I can buy throwback jerseys on Mitchell and Ness. They won't write Redskins on them, even on the jock tag.
But anymore. Eddie will.
No, what I did was I've actually purchased a bunch of Mitchell Nesses. So the jersey that you see me wear on game day is actually Mitchell Ness that I got with 21 on there, and I just had my nameplate put on, customize the name, had a sewer go and customize a nameplate for me. So it looks like a full-on
jersey. Jerseys feel so nice too.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of the Nike jerseys. They just fit weird. They're really tight in the shoulders.
They're like this.
They're tight in the shoulders and like huge in the waist. And it's like, yeah. Apparently they think that everyone is like, got these tiny little shoulders and huge guts. So
that's my body type at least. So other than the wretched jerseys, how are you guys feeling about this week? Like, are you feeling it at all? Do you think there's any hope? Do you think they're going to get smashed? Do you think they can beat a backup quarterback with Carson Wentz?
So my biggest fear is honestly right now. I mean, look, Carson Wentz is he's an up and down quarterback. We'll see good games and bad games out of him. But the problem is that something that seems to be that's going to be a constant issue based upon what we've seen the past couple of weeks is that offensive line just does not look good. And if that offensive line
only magnifies it.
Yeah. So
yeah, Dallas is a pretty strong defensive line.
Yep.
And Micah Parsons, he's an absolute stud, and he'll be blitzing from all over the field.
What happens in the history of the Washington Commander Team Redskins when they play a backup quarterback? Does it A, go well?
Never.
B, is a competitive game, or C, we're embarrassed on national TV and it's not close and the backup quarterback should be MVP of the entire league?
It's usually that one.
It's usually C.
So
it's usually the embarrassing one.
Yeah, I mean that Cooper Rush kid, he seems to be more accurate than Dak was in his first game.
Dak looks terrible. I'd rather play 45 Daks if that's what we're going to play. Cooper Rush looks like a real quarterback, and that's a good team. We are screwed. Remember Byron Leftwich? Remember when Byron Leftwich got on the game in Pittsburgh, and we were all like, yay, we're going to murder him. And then he dropped 2 90-yard bombs on us like it was nothing. Think about that times 10. And that's what I'm expecting on Sunday.
Hey, there's some tape on Cooper Rush now, though. Like there wasn't a lot of tape on him before. Hold on. Let me rephrase that. If you have a good defensive coordinator, the tape will help.
So now there's tape. 3 90-yard bombs.
Like any normal good defensive coordinator would use that and be able to.
Oh no! Send money to P.O. Box Max Bacon at Florida City, Florida. He is back in a hurricane. We have lost Max. Everybody's watching him die on live television.
I like how he's like
a murder.
I like how he's like, and this is the most important thing.
And then a wave just swept him away. We'll never see Max again. Max, thanks for that last hog in the mic.
We'll give him a second here, but we'll go ahead and get to the nitty gritty.
Are we doing scores, predictions?
We will, but we'll let our guests go first.
But hold on, time out. Red flag.
What are you challenging?
I'm challenging that we should compile a guest. I know it's gonna be a few weeks off, but a guest host record as well.
Okay, you can do that.
Yeah, I can do that. You keep the stats. They're right next to you on a pad. Don't raise your eyebrows. Write something. Okay. All right, Pez. What's the score of this game and why?
Oh, God. I'm not sure if I even want to predict the score at this point. I mean, I don't know. Maybe 30-17 Cowboys.
37. That's okay. That one hurts coming from you. You're supposed to be optimistic.
Probably about 90% of those points will be coming in the first half.
Per usual.
Because that seems to be the trend that we're doing, which is just get
not showing up to the third quarter.
Just get completely annihilated in the first half, and then the other teams just kind of like peter off in the second half. Because, like I said, Del Rio only makes adjustments at halftime. We can't make it on the sideline. It's impossible. There is no way that any defense coordinator in the entire league could think about maybe looking at what the team is doing on the field and actually tell the defense to do something different in that same half or even that same quarter. That's impossible.
Maybe Jack Del Rio has like a soundtrack that he listens to and wears like it's Beats by Dre, which is like noise cancellation, and just like everyone's like, "Hey, JDR, we should." He's like, "Nope, track 6, second quarter. I'll flip it to the B side in the second half, and then they can talk to him." Eddie, what's our records right now?
Max is 2-1.
RIP.
You are 1-2, and I am 1-2.
This is not nearly as good as last year. Okay. Am I next? Am I going next?
Yeah. Go ahead. Do your thing. Do your whole thing. Make a show of it.
The Washington Commanders walked in against Philly at home against a time to turn the team around after an embarrassing defeat to Detroit. They faced their division rivals, the Eagles, and got annihilated as if they were Max Bacon in a hurricane. Now they face another very competitive division rival in the Dallas Cowboys, but with a backup quarterback, but that only usually spells trouble. The Washington Commanders lose this game 14-47.
Oh, wow. What was that score again? Let me write that down.
14-47.
Jesus, 14.
Look, I feel like Pez during the game. That's what I'm going to look like the entire game on Sunday.
Oh man, he's done. He's hibernating inside a pig's ear. All right, I guess it's my turn.
That's copyright infringement. Oh, I forgot you do this now. But we can't hear you when you do this.
Oh God. Make sure you get the you got to focus on the S's. You got to focus on the S's.
Yes, Cobra. Anyway, I don't feel good about this. I don't feel good about this at all. Not even a little bit. Because Ron is weird and he makes no sense. 11. Why? Why 11? Nobody knows.
We did have 2 for most of the game.
I don't know why 11. But I'm picking 11. 2. 32.
So you're saying that we're going to get 3 field goals and a safety?
4 safeties and a field goal.
A touchdown. For some reason, he goes for 2, and then a field goal. Because he's stupid. Because he's stupid. He's stupid, and he makes no sense. And that's where I'm at. Because what are any of his decisions?
Remember last game? We didn't even talk about this. Remember when it was early on and the Philadelphia Eagle receiver, I think it was Sanders, caught the ball in the 8th row of the stadium, like next to a beer vendor, and Ron Romero was like, and then like 8 plays later, he was like, flag. Remember that?
Yeah.
I hate him.
Yeah, I don't feel good about it. I don't feel good about it at all. I wish it felt better. Probably gonna watch it. I have more hope Saturday when my Tennessee Volunteers play LSU. Go Volunteers. So far, I'm happy. I have a little bit of football happiness, and
Duke's almost ranked.
I'm a Maryland fan, which means I'm just, between the Redskins and Maryland, I'm just constantly disappointed.
Yeah, that's been me for the past however many years, and I'm just gonna hold on to happiness while I have it.
So I wanted to bring something up. Social media, of course, is social media.
Mm-hmm.
But you even hear it in the lots or anything like that. Everyone's like, "Oh, fire Rivera, fire Rivera." Even if you were to do that, who the hell are you bringing in? Usually the first response when you ask that question is anybody. Well, who's anybody?
Right. And who's going to want to coach for us at this point?
Oh yeah.
But it would have to be a young person, a very young person, or
like a baby,
Lane Kiffin, literal Lane Kiffin,
or Lane Kiffin.
And it wouldn't surprise me. Maybe he brings the old ball coach back.
What's Steve Spurrier Jr. doing?
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
We curse all the time because this team leads us to saying bad words in front of good people.
I'm sorry. You can't expect anything otherwise when you mention the Spurrier family to me.
He's from my hometown, Pez. I hate him.
Yeah. My wife's a Clemson fan, so my wife was cursing him a lot when they had their rivalry games against South Carolina. So
balls against the Gators, really, because South Carolina never really was a challenge for Tennessee back then. And then Clemson got really good. What can you do? Here we are at the end of another episode. And I thought a pretty solid one with our special guest host, X-TremeSkins Tailgate Extraordinaire Pez. Do you have any parting words? I hope you come back this season, maybe. We'll like take a picture of you now and we'll compare it then, see how bad it weathers you after a few tailgates.
I've learned not to let the games get to me. So honestly, the thing that brings us the most happiness is the tailgate. So we love seeing everybody there. I love cooking food for everybody. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Always.
So
I hate it.
Even though you're the picky one and you won't eat hardly any of the things that I cook.
Oh yeah, by the way, to all our hoggies, doesn't eat egg rolls.
I don't.
Why?
I'm from Tennessee.
Why?
I don't like the conveyance for the food. I don't like the egg roll part.
Well,
I'm sure your cheesesteak part is delicious, huh?
Do you like empanadas? Because I'm making the empanadas this week or this next game.
I won't be there again until Minnesota, probably. Unless Jackie's just like she calls me or something, because that happens every now and then. And Jackie's the nicest person in the world.
You know who's coming to this next tailgate? Swedish Martin.
Hey, that'll be good to see him again.
Yeah, it will.
All the way from Sweden.
Just to see this shitty ass team.
He's such a nice guy. It makes no sense that he likes his team, but I love it. I love everything about that. Such a nice guy. Anything else you want to plug? Anything else you want to say about Dallas week, Pez?
Just that once again, the uniforms takes me back to those Zorn days, maroon and black.
Basically.
And Ron Rivera takes me back to those Zorn days. Incompetent and stupid.
Well, at least we're not using. At least we don't have slip and slides out there.
Give it time.
Goodness. Oh goodness! Here we are at the end of another episode. I'm your host.
No, Zorn is going to call swinging gate.
Oh
God! Ron Rivera will do something stupider, I'm sure.
We're going off the rails here. I'm your host, Eddie Jenkins.
Save Max Bacon. We love you.
Save Max Bacon. Three other hosts, the nude quarterback, Kenneth J. Paltrow III, and our special guest host, Pez, and R.I.P. Max Bacon. May you rest in heaven. Saying, remember, the rivalry is with ourselves. I try to be better than is possible. I fight against myself, not against the other. See ya.